Hey, welcome to the Disney MGM Studios here in Orlando, Florida, home of the Backstage Pass to Disney's 101 Dalmatians. We're talking sets, props, the really neat things that all went into the making of Disney's live-action feature, 101 Dalmatians. It's more fun than a run in the park. Whew. But you may ask, 101 Dalmatians? What of it? What exactly makes Dalmatians so darn special? Their charm, their grace, their unusual dots and spots?
Yes, the Dalmatian is a short-haired dog covered from head to toe with black or brown spots. It ranges in size from 18 to 23 inches high at the shoulders when it's standing up. When it's lying down, of course, it's much shorter. Yes, the breed is believed to have originated in Dalmatia, part of Croatia, but came to merry old England in the mid-1800s. They're wonderful animals, great conversationalists, most clever indeed. They're never late on loan payments and absolutely love shaggy dog movies. Personally, I think they are the most unique of all the Canine Kingdom. Yes.
Cute, huh? Boy, after you fall in love with a litter of puppies, it's really hard to pick a favorite. When it came to picking the doggy cast of 101 Dalmatians, it wasn't just left up to huggability.
That's a technical term.
These dogs had to learn some pretty tricky film moves. And since the whole story revolves around these cute guys, the last thing you want is a dog with stage fright. Hey, little fella. What's wrong? What's wrong, boy? Didn't even flinch. So producers had to find the perfect dogs for the role. Sorry. No way. Perfect. Once cast, these dogs had to study hard. They really had to know their stuff. Disney's 101 Dalmatians is a fun-filled, live-action comedy fantasy based on Disney's original animated classic.
You can't be serious.
Newlyweds Roger and Anita and their Dalmatians Pongo and Purdy are freaked out when their Dalmatian puppies are dog-napped by fiendish Cruella de Vil and her hapless henchmen Horace and Jasper. A comical chase ensues as Pongo and Purdy enlist the help of a variety of resourceful friends from backyard to barnyard. Stephen Herrick, the man behind the Mighty Ducks and the acclaimed Mr. Holland's Opus, directs the screenplay from writer-producer John Hughes, the creator of the Home Alone hit films and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The cast includes Jeff Daniels as Roger, Jolie Richardson as Anita, Joan Plowright as Nanny, and 5-time Academy Award nominee Glenn Close as the evil, dastardly, nasty, mean, vitriolic... Vitriolic? Cruella de Vil. Wait a minute, I was only discussing your, endearing qualities.
Is this true?
Cruella, babe, come on, you're the best.
It is rather amusing, isn't it?
Whew, that was close. In an animated film like Disney's original 101 Dalmatians, anything is possible, because Disney artists can draw anything. But with a live-action film like this, everything has to be live. That means the filmmakers had to face quite a few challenges as they brought the story to the screen.
I thought it might be interesting to see that story done as a live-action film. There's a certain magic to the animation, but there's also a magic to doing that story live.
Doing the story live meant dealing with live puppies. Lots and lots of wiggling, hopping, curious, playful, frisky, and uncontrollable puppies. Not to mention a menagerie of other animals as well.
We have 2 Dalmatian adult characters We have 2 other dog characters. We have raccoons, skunks, squirrels, horses, cows, sheep, goats, lots of puppies, of course. 15 character puppies, and then the 99 other puppies.
I've actually been incredibly surprised at how much they've been able to train 6 to 8 week old puppies. The first thought is, you just don't train puppies until they're 6 months old, or dogs until they're 6 months old. At times, especially when it's day after day after day, scene after scene after scene, sometimes you are, going, oh my, this is a lot. But I know when it's all cut together in the long run, it's all going to be very much worth it.
Mary Kay Snyder was responsible for finding the puppies and making them comfortable with all of the activities of movie making.
Well, at first when they come here, they're a little bit confused because they've been at home for the first 6 weeks, or 8 weeks actually, of their lives. So when they come here, they are getting socialized with all the other puppies. They program themselves to go to a certain area that we have them to run to. And after the first couple times on the set, the first AD just yells like, stand by or turn over. And they all crowd at the gate and they want to get out and they know exactly what's going on. So they really have fun.
This is definitely one of the most challenging films we've worked on. In some of the barn scenes, you have 30 animals in one area for one scene. And a million trainers all trying to get them to do something different. And it can be interesting, but it's been a great experience and it's been a lot of fun.
Hi, Purdy. Hey, folks, check this out. It's good to see you, Purdy. See that? Shaking hands.
Professional dog trick number 1.
Thanks, Purdy. Here at Disney MGM Studios Backstage Pass to 101 Dalmatians, you can come and see the actual sets where the film's cast members worked. Yes, Purdy, it's good to see you.
Professional dog trick number 2.
The cast had to use all of their acting skills to keep from being upstaged by their spotted co-stars. Yes, Purdy, it's nice to... No, I'm not falling for that again. For the entire cast, working together was a real case of puppy love. Yep, nice to meet you. I get it.
Professional dog trick number 3.
The most memorable character in Disney's 101 Dalmatians is not the most lovable. Cruella de Vil is a vain, egocentric, scary-looking, smoky-smelling, sleazy, soulless monster. When producers John Hughes, Ricardo Mestres, and executive producer Edward S. Feldman were thinking of an actor to play the part of the horrible Cruella, they naturally turned to the talented, charismatic, creative, dedicated, and well-respected 5-time Oscar nominee Glenn Close. Glenn Close, star of The Big Chill and Fatal Attraction. She's elegant, attractive, and oozes class.
Anita, darling.
So naturally, they would want her to get kicked through a barn door, fall into a vat of molasses, do a 1.5 gainer into a pigsty, and bury her face in a skunk. Glenn said she'd love to.
I've wanted to do a movie with Disney since I was 7 years old. I was convinced that if I presented myself to Walt Disney, knocked on his front door, that he would immediately put me in his movies.
We were looking for a world-class actress to play the part. Bigger than life, something that's going to bring grandeur to one of the most famous characters in all of moviedom.
I'll pay you twice what they're worth. Come now. I'm being more than generous. Cruella, what would you do with 15 puppies?
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. It is. You can't have any because they're not for sale.
Jeff Daniels and Jolie Richardson play Roger and Anita. Anita's a fashion designer who works for the House of DeVille, and Roger is a hapless video game creator.
Video games. What a senseless thing to do with your life.
I'm playing Pongo's master because this is 101 Dalmatians and everything starts with the dogs. It's basically me and Pongo, running around. We meet Anita and Purdy, and Anita and Roger get together, as do Pongo and Purdy, and babies and puppies follow.
I think it's great to be part of a live-action version of a cartoon with all the romance and humour. And it was one of my favourite films, so
so it was great to be in it.
Another renowned actor in the cast was British film legend Joan Plowright. Ms. Plowright, like Ms. Close, was cast for her elegance and class.
She's a very robust character, warm, sympathetic, very proper, as she should be, but not above packing a punch when necessary.
Rounding out the stellar cast are Hugh Laurie as Jasper and Mark Williams as Horace. When thinking of the word professional, Horace and Jasper immediately come to mind.
We fall over a lot. We get the wrong end of the stick. We fail spectacularly. Dreadful, dreadful things are done to us.
After all, it's a John Hughes film, isn't it?
I'm tremendously clumsy, so physical comedy comes to me. It's very easy for me, because I just look at a room and I say, okay, if I walked in here, what could I knock over? What could fall on me? What could I pull on that would drop down? And what could I slip in? So I'm pretty good at that.
Cut it! Did pretty good. Can we play back? So why was Stephen Herrick chosen to guide the cast and crew through puppy pratfalls, over-the-top villainy, and some sophisticated special effects?
And cut it. What we needed in a director mostly was a sense of fun and an ability to strike the right tone between the outrageous events that occur in the movie and the desire for realism. Well, print that. With Steve, he had shown in his past movies that he had just a perfect balance between knowing when to push the comedy and knowing when to hold back. It does take a tremendous amount of patience, you know, not only from behind the camera but in front of the camera, because there are a number of times where they have to be with the dogs or animals, and sometimes the animals are not that cooperative, and so you may be ready, you know, to do your thing, but it may be a few minutes, maybe even longer than a few minutes before the animals actually do anything that's remotely close to what it is that you want. So you're doing take after take after take, and sometimes you don't even get that far into it. They have been unbelievable in that arena, in staying there and staying with it and not getting frustrated and not, you know, it's like I can't do this. And then when the lights go on and something finally does happen, they're there as much as the animals are there.
But they're so cute. While the filmmakers tried to keep to schedule and coordinate all of the moving parts of physical production, other behind-the-scenes craftsmen were busy keeping the adorable puppies happy, healthy, and looking good.
No one should be left off your Christmas list.
Come on, Purdy. It's bath time. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, Purdy, come on. Come on, sweetheart. Anyone who has a dog knows that bathing them is no easy task. Right, girl? Well, just think what it was like with 101 Dalmatians. Forget cream, rinse, and conditioner. How about makeup and a buzz cut? Yep, makeup and hairdos for 101 fun-loving dogs. And a few humans. Well, it was definitely a challenge. Okay, Purdy, let's just dry you off here, sweetheart. There we go. Let's get you all dried. Good girl. Yeah. Maybe no one will notice. Purdy and Pongo received their puppy pampering from the hairdresser to the dogs, Wendy Rawson.
One of the most difficult things to do with a puppy or with any dog is to take out the black coat. And obviously in a Dalmatian we want to get rid of the black spots. And what you saw me doing was the final touches of just powdering down the product that I had put on just before he went on the set.
We've got the initial puppy, say, of Whizzer, and then we've got 5 stand-ins, and they all have to look the same. Unfortunately, puppies grow very rapidly, and after 2 weeks, then we have to let the puppy go and take in another one.
Each puppy had 4 or 5 stand-ins throughout the filming. In all, over 200 puppies were used in the making of the movie. The animal trainers and handlers who worked on Disney's 101 Dalmatians earned enough trust and confidence from the dogs that they were able to coax any number of great puppy performances from their canine cast.
It's always interesting for me what becomes the signature feature of a character, and I think for this character it's the mouth and the hair. I think obviously on a face, eyebrows, eyes, and mouth, and it took a lot of thought.
In the film, Cruella de Vil owns a famous London fashion house. Academy Award-winning costume designer Anthony Powell was brought in to create the unique designs for Cruella's wardrobe.
The director wanted her to look extraordinary and not like anybody else, which was left the field wide open. And so it seemed to me that this woman is politically incorrect in every way you can possibly imagine. I mean, she smokes like a chimney the whole time. She is obsessed by animal furs. So I took that as my starting point. And looked around to find amusing and beautiful fake fur things like leopard, all the things, you know, the wicked things that we're not even supposed to talk about, much less wear. But things like, you know, tiger, leopard, snow leopard, ocelot, all of those kind of protected species, and I found marvellous fake versions of those and then worked from those.
Our idea for this Cruella was that she's the head of she's an extremely successful woman in a very, very difficult world, and she has a real sense of style.
I thought that everything about her should be extreme, not just the styling of the clothes, but I thought one of the keys to it was her actual physical shape, that I wanted a very extreme physical shape, and so she's corseted up to the eyebrows. She said to somebody one day, she said, "This is Anthony, who designed my costumes. He's not my mentor, he's my tormentor."
We'd like to welcome our new sponsor, Ink Dog Chewy Spots. Try the sensation and be a Dalmatian. We'd also like to thank the following advertiser.
I went into the market to get that dog food that was on sale, but they were sold out. They gave me this rain check. We have to come back again. We can't get it now. Spike. Hey, I know you're disappointed, but we can work this out. Just one moment.
Here at the Backstage Passes Henson Creature Workshop, you'll see real fake animals. No, wait, what I'm trying to say is you'll see fake real animals. No, wait. What you'll see are the real puppets and animatronic creatures used in Disney's 101 Dalmatians for impossible moves or dangerous stunts. Because when it comes to creature stunts and special effects, they go hand in hand. Or paw. Or head. You need to put on some weight. Natural enemies, dogs and cars. Maybe dogs think of cars as big, hard animals who've just swallowed a human, whom they can see trapped inside. Or maybe they see them as cars. But let's face it, if you drive a car at high speed towards a dog and then hit the brakes, the dog will get nervous. Very nervous. Wouldn't you? The makers of Disney's 101 Dalmatians knew the script called for a scene where Pongo runs at breakneck speed against traffic as he tries to find Anita and Purdy. They called on the best dog trainers in the business to design the stunt so that they could film the scene in an exciting but very safe and controlled way. They never wanted to put an animal at risk.
Most of the dogs we got for this film had no training whatsoever before we got here, and trained them just to do the specific things that happen in the film. There's this bike chase through London, and the way we attack that is we have actually 4 dogs that are playing Pongo. Bailey, who is the main dog, has a backup named Jake, but then we have 2 dogs that do nothing but just run, so that you do 3 or 4 runs on the bike, and then that dog can go rest while you work with another dog.
What we do is riding on the bike, riding next to the bike is, like Jolie Richardson, who plays Anita, is riding the bike, and Purdy's with her all through traffic and that. That is very tough, only because I want the dog to go a certain pace. I don't want the dog to pull and make it look natural like they do this every day. So the stuff that looks like would be easy, the dog just going on a bike is actually tougher.
The trainers and stunt coordinators try to come as close as possible to conditions that will be on hand during actual filming, but they also must allow for the unexpected.
We use people, loud distractions, horns honking, and set up as much as we can to come close to it. And then when we get out there on the day, hope we've covered every angle that we can.
The hours of rehearsal paid off. The scene runs for only a few minutes, but audiences will get the sensation of being on a roller coaster-like dog-propelled ride. And that's just the beginning of the movie.
I don't think he wanted to do that.
Disney's 101 Dalmatians is packed with stunts and special effects. However, it would not be safe to drop a puppy down a pipe or have him skid across a wet, icy floor right into the camera. So the filmmakers called upon the talents of industrial light and magic to create computer-generated images, or CGI, of the puppies.
You can't slide a puppy down a drain pipe safely, but the audience can actually experience that and watch a puppy do something like that. Could never have happened in that light before. And we could actually, in the sense of that sequence, we could actually amp it up a little bit and have fun with it.
Other scenes required a different blend of movie magic. The artists at Jim Henson's Creature Shop created mechanical animals, or animatronics, that would duplicate the actions and movements of live animals. But these Muppets could perform perfectly. Kick after kick after kick. Henson artists also created an infant puppy for the birth scene at Roger and Anita's house. At Henson's, when a synthetic puppy is born, they don't throw away the mold.
It's the newborn. It's the scene when the puppies are first born. And we're making a bunch of these. It's called Conathane. It's kind of like a silicon rubber.
Production designer Ashton Gorton had to consider the animal actors when designing his sets as well.
We had to adapt all the staircases so that they weren't too steep for the puppies. So all the stairs, for instance, are very shallow. Also designed the set to be shot from a very low level. The puppies are very close to the ground. You shoot it that way because there are 2 scales involved. There's a human scale, and then there's a puppy scale, which is actually about quarter the size of the human scale.
You'll see spots during Disney's 101 Dalmatians, and you may also be seeing a puppet, a robot, or a computer graphic or 2. But it really doesn't matter because the magic of the movie is in the antics, charm, personalities, and the wonderful moments provided by dozens of real Dalmatians. 101 to be exact.
I didn't realize how much I would love it.
I feel fortunate to be a part of it.
We all should be very lucky if anyone looks at any humans in this movie with the amount of endearing animals that will be on screen.
This just in. Critics from around the country are running to see 101 Dalmatians. Roll it!
Yeah, I thought it was really great.
We give 101 Dalmatians 404 paws up.
I loved it.
It was great. From the mouths of fans who know, even if they do have doggy breath, Disney's 101 Dalmatians is a comedy with lots of legs. It's a classic, but this time, the magic is real. Good girl. So on behalf of Purdy and the entire cast and crew of 101 Dalmatians and myself, thanks for watching. Exactly. Good girl.
Hey.
Dalmatians are wonderful, energetic, enthusiastic dogs, but they're not for everyone. If you're considering choosing a Dalmatian for a pet, do a little research. Talk to other Dalmatian owners. Make sure this breed fits your lifestyle and expectations.
That was a sneak peek at 101 Dalmatians, but we're not counting those, so we're still at 61 on the Disney Channel's 101 Canine Countdown.
Won't be long now.
Next up, our countdown continues with one of everyone's favorite four-legged friends.
At what point did you lose sight of Benji?
And